All right, Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, the Bawanas to the apostles and the others, great millstone, and Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith, labor of love and true sincerity. YAHAWASHI, Rakah Kodash to the elect out there. And, I wanted to get into a brief topic, basically upon our people and, basically searching after, the riches of the so-called white man, Esau, all our people looking for riches, and different things and complaining about this and that, inequality, justice, and equal pay and, your rights and all of this, but if you're looking for riches, well, here they are, which is the scriptures. These are the real riches in which everybody should be, trying to obtain, and searching and seeking for as best as they possibly can. It goes without saying that, you're going to have to do what you got to do, to survive and depending on, your lifestyle and stuff like that. But many of these of our people who are, celebrities, basketball players, comedians, actors, radio personalities, so on and so forth, how they have the saying, the greater they are, the harder they fall, their lifestyles, is about to be dwindled down very shortly, So I'm going to start off with this precept here. This is Romans 11:33, and it says, "Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of Yahawah, how unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out." So it's all about the depths of the riches of these scriptures, which provides true substance unto your life and which allows you to see things much more clearly instead of in a fog of you, going off of things according to your own mind and your own opinions, and I was watching, because it's been a big thing with the comedian, what's her name? Goddamn, I forgot that fast. Monique, and her crying about Netflix, not paying her and inequality and different stuff like this and women rights and all of that. And, what it all boils down to, man, is our people are constantly, and they just don't get it that they're begging for the white man's crumbs, man. That's all they begging for. In today's society, and even, Pastor Har mentioned it, today, like, is how it's, no way that, nobody should be able to make money, like, with the internet and everything of today. You can provide yourself with your own platform, but yet she's crying out, to the so-called white man, the people that deal with Netflix for more money and so on and so forth. So our people are looking for justice, in a society that has never been just. What type of sense does that make? Do you ever think you're going to, get equal rights or different things like that? No, because this place was not set up for us, and our people are not going to get out of that mind frame until they learn to lean upon the Lord and look at the Lord for the true guidance, man, to know why we're in this condition and to know why these type of things are constantly happening to our people, So, real quick, this is the book of Deuteronomy 28:48, and it says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness and in want of all things." Okay? So, in hunger, thirst, nakedness, and a want of all things shall we serve our enemies. What is Jake constantly complaining about? Our people getting shot down, our people not being treated right, equal pay, all of these different things that our people are constantly seeking for within the society, and we have to constantly go to the so-called white man for, proves that they are our enemies. And it proves that we are the children of the scriptures. We are the children of Israel, man. And this is just a light point, but a strong point it is indeed. How the scriptures say in 1 Corinthians. Matter of fact, let me just go to it real quick. What is it? 1 Corinthians 1. It's 1 Corinthians 1:25, and it says, because the matter of fact, yeah, because the foolishness of Yahweh is wiser than men, and the weakness of Yahweh is stronger than men. So matter of fact, let me just read on. Let me jump to verse 27. And but Yahweh have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So altogether, the smallest jewel of knowledge within this truth, which is primarily knowing who we are according to the scriptures, is wiser than anything, period, of this world. And our people are confounded by the most simplest things. Even us, when we were, us as men of the Lord, when we were in the world, a lot of us were caught up in the same situations of wondering why we can't get over the hump, so on and so forth. But the answer was right here in our face, which was in the scriptures. And our people are still seeking the so-called white man's crumbs and wondering why, and wondering, will we ever be to get it together? All these people talking about, how can black people get together and, go so hard for this Black Panther movie and, support and, make millions and millions of dollars, but yet we can't get together in business and this and that and so on and so forth. Why? Because it's the curses, man. That's why. That's why. That is why. If people truly understood that it was the Lord doing these things, man, these people would be cursing the Lord out, man. They couldn't believe it, man. Because it says that in Isaiah, that it more so pertains to the famine and stuff. But hey, we're approaching a famine. We're approaching a famine in the word. We're approaching a physical famine. We're approaching all of the prophecies. So it still goes in hand. So real quick, yeah, man, this goes perfectly in line. Yeah, Isaiah, I start at 8:20, and it says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. And they shall pass through it hardly bestead and hungry. Even what? People crying for the so-called white man's crumbs, as getting into in his lesson. And it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their power and look upward, and they shall look unto the earth and behold trouble and darkness, dimness and anguish. They shall be driven in darkness. So like I said, this is talking about a physical famine, and people physically being hungry and stuff like that. But you can also apply this to all other levels for the simple fact that, because as time goes on, people are going to wonder why things are getting worse, or why would the Lord allow this to happen? That's the same mentality that our people have now. And while you have some of our people that don't believe in the high power, but let's say, well, if God is real, why does he allow all these type of things and so on and so forth? It's man doing this. It's not God. God wouldn't do that. But them being ignorant, of the knowledge of the Lord, and not knowing that the Lord makes things happen on both sides of the spectrum as far as good and evil. And he created all these things, man. So people have a heavy lack of knowledge, in a very simplistic mind state, of thinking carnally, man, which is ultimately going to bring their damnation. So like I was saying, people wondering why we can't get together and make things happen. It's not going to happen, period. It's been proven, man. So real quick, I want to bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 54, and it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall live. So that's what, as far as the man is concerned. Brothers basically beefing against one another, of same tribe, different tribes, so on and so forth. In verse 56, and it says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. So it gives you both examples to show you why the men are the men of our nation are the way that they are today, and why the women of our nation are how they are today. And it's all due to the curses. And because of these various things, we will never be able to get together on one accord within the society and make things work. For that fact, and more importantly, because it's been ordained for America to be destroyed, and we know that this is not the place of our rest, and we were sent here ultimately for our captivity. So if we're sent here for captivity, why would we continue to look towards the so-called white man for riches and for a better life within this place, when that better life and those riches can only be attained through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High, man? You know? So, you know, these 2/3 out here, they're going to keep complaining and keep crying, but ultimately it's going to be nothing brought unto them but death, destruction, and disappointment, you know? So that's why we lean upon the scriptures, because we know the things that are right hand and we know what's happening, man, while these other people are totally clueless. Yet we're looked at as bums, so on and so forth. But yet what? We have all the riches that we will ever need, which is within these scriptures, you know? So real quick, this is James 2:5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he have promised to them that love him? Okay, so that's what it's all about. It's about the Most High choosing the poor of this world, but rich in faith, you know? So even though, you know, brothers got to do what they got to do, but what? Why are we truly rich? We may be considered bums into the world, but we're truly rich because we have the depths of the knowledge and the mysteries and, you know, the prophecies, and knowing who we are according to these scriptures, which is, Lord willing, is going to carry us over into the kingdom with that faith and the hope that we have within the Lord, and not putting our trust within this wicked ass society and by, you know, a man that constantly oppresses us every single day and every step of the way, man. You know, the so-called white man. You know, so if people that's out there, they looking for, you know, looking for riches, here they are, man. Plain and simple. You looking for riches, here they are, the scriptures. You know, the famine is the word. Watching the Apostle Gabar video a little earlier, you know, the famine of the word is truly on the way, the net neutrality and all this different type of things. So it's not going to be too much more longer for people out there, you know, to be able to get this word, man, you know. So, hey, you know, I just want to touch on that segment real quick as far as our people, you know, basically sighing and crying to the so-called white man, which is futile. You know, when you're supposed to be sighing and crying for all abominations, you know, that be done thereof, and crying unto the Lord, man, in righteousness, you know, and having the right mind frame. So, you know, with that, you know, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH to the elect out there, doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalawam.